What is up, guys? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Calamity Comics and also our first movie review. Today we're going to be reviewing Blue Beetle. We just finished watching it last night.
Yep.
We have a lot of things to say about it. So, let's get right into it. Let's start off with our quick thoughts. What's your quick thoughts?
I really loved the movie. I had no problems with it. I really like Jaime. I really love Blue Beetle, especially in Young Justice. So seeing the movie come out, I was really skeptical, but when we watched it, it was really great.
Especially Young Justice. If you guys have not seen that show, you should definitely watch it. For me, yes, I also really loved the movie a lot. I was very scared for this movie.
Yeah.
Because I was not a fan of any of the trailers. All the trailers were really bad in my opinion. Like I saw the trailers and I was like, dude, this looks like a Disney movie. Like a Disney Channel movie type. But rest assured, it's not that. It's not that at all. I'm glad to say
I was scared it was gonna be like that.
Yes, it was really bad. I was really scared. But I'm glad to say, in my eyes, it's a movie. It's a good movie with bad trailers. I'll tell you that.
Bad trailers.
Yeah, and because the families. I was very nervous about this movie with the family because the family came off as really cringy in the trailers. So that was like the biggest thing I was really nervous about.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They were honestly.
I ended up loving the family even more than I thought I would.
They were like the best part. I mean, they were like the main characters of the freaking story.
Yeah.
Like, they really were. It wasn't just
it wasn't just Jaime. Yeah.
It was a family race. So yeah, I love the movie a lot. It's a breath of fresh air for the superhero genre. It's not completely different. It's not something like brand new, like whoa.
Yeah.
But it's just like.
But it's refreshing because we don't get a lot of that from DC. When we do, it's really rare. A good movie.
And we haven't got that with Marvel, unless Guardians
Marvel.
3. Because what this movie heavily reminded me of was kind of just it was kind of nostalgic. Because it's kind of how good the superhero movies were, back in the 2000s and the early 2010s with the Marvel Phase 1 and Phase 2. My bad. And I'm saying that in a really good way. Because, let's be honest, every single superhero origin story, they're honestly the same. They're heavily the same. The first 15 minutes is the main character before he's a superhero, and then he gets the powers of a superhero. He experiences loss in some form or manner, and he learns how to be a superhero in the end of the movie. It's all the same beats, but it's just done differently, and it's done really well. And I personally do not have a problem with that. Like I said, it's a fresh breath of air of a superhero movie doing the superhero tropes, but doing it good again. That's how I feel about it. They're doing it good again.
Yeah.
And I love that, and I miss that.
I feel with Marvel, we had a lot of that in the beginning because they were introducing all of them to us, but we're not getting that anymore with Marvel because they haven't really introduced anyone else new.
Well, and the people that they have introduced, they're not introducing them well enough.
Not even giving them those types of movies. It's a lot of shows now. And it's just not they're not. I don't know. For me, my opinion on the new Marvel stuff, I'm just not really into it. But I know Moon Knight has a large fan base.
It could have been better. But we're doing a Marvel movie soon. A Marvel episode soon. But I'm just saying that because the reason why I brought up the whole trope is because that's a lot of things that I've seen people online talking about. It's just a movie that follows the tropes. It's just a movie. And I'm like, yeah. It does follow the superhero origin tropes. But
don't they always need that?
Yes. And like I said, it does follow the superhero origin story tropes, but it's doing it good again like they used to be good back in Phase 1 and back in Batman Begins and just all those things. They're doing it good again. So yeah, those are quick thoughts. You love the movie, and what's something you love the most?
There's a lot. Can I say more than one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's so. I have a lot of things to say too.
I really loved the soundtrack.
Yes.
I don't know. That to me was like a really big plus. I feel like they were really aiming towards like pulling in a younger audience or our generation because I don't know. To me, they went towards like a Stranger Things route with the music. Like there's a lot of like
synths,
80s synth wave type music. So I really like that.
And to speak more on the music, that was another thing. I wanted like a lot out of this movie was the music.
Good music.
Because you know, I'm Hispanic, Latino, Mexican American, whatever, but I always wanted this Blue Beetle movie. Ever since Black Panther, I've always wanted, you know, this Blue Beetle movie. And I always spoke it with you, and I always spoke it with my brother and friends of mine that like, dude, like if they were to do a Blue Beetle movie, I need them to play Mexican music.
And they did.
Like I needed to play some Vicente Fernandez, some Chalinos, some like they played it all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like big huge pluses for me. And the thing is, unlike Black Panther when they made the soundtrack and they didn't even play majority of those songs, this one they actually played the songs and I really
wanted
that.
Not the Black Panther.
Yeah, it was
such a sad downfall.
I wanted to play all the music.
I listened to that soundtrack for like weeks before the movie.
Yes, and I remember I was just like, oh dude, like I wonder, oh man, I'm pretty sure this song will be played in like a
But then you always forget that there's a soundtrack and there's an album. And that was the album.
But I heavily appreciate that, you know, this Blue Beetle movie, they played original scores, but they also played Mexican music from Latino artists.
So yeah,
and
the
I
music
love that.
really wrapped, like, it really pulled the movie together, I feel like, in like really cool parts. I loved the action. I was so worried that the Blue Beetle scenes were gonna be like you know, like old CGI, like, and like weird long shots, but there were so many like good cuts and like the way things were like directed, like
it was choreographed
it was so
well.
Good. Yeah, it was really good.
Very choreographed well. Yes.
I love to like whenever Kanji,
the Scarab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kanji.
I
love whenever the Scarab would talk to Blue Beetle. And like it didn't feel like cringy or cheesy to me. It felt very like smooth and like I don't know, like everything about it just seemed really good.
I will say something about the Scarab's Kanji is that I hope the Scarab gets more character.
Yeah.
Gets more character.
I mean, it definitely showed that like she was very much involved.
Yeah, like when she started speaking Spanish towards the end, that shit was funny. But going back to the action thing, how you're saying, I love the action. It was great. It was choreographed. It was choreographed well. The CGI wasn't bad, and
I couldn't even tell if there was CGI either.
Yes.
Even with like the formations of the like suits, like you couldn't even tell. It just looked like really natural.
Because all the suits were practically made.
Yeah.
You know, so they had a base to go off of when they were doing the CGI.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't look bad.
Yeah. But other than like in Marvel, like it's just their head, in the green suit.
Oh yeah, and like with the action sequences, it's very good. The CGI is very good. One thing I do want to say, what I've seen online, people talk about online, is that they say that the ending is just another CGI fight fest, which I have a problem with that statement. Because they would use that for a lot of superhero movies. Like, it's just a CGI fight fest. It's just a CGI fight fest. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I get it. But, like, they're not going to realistically fly around and shoot lasers off of their hands. Superman isn't. They're not going to realistically shoot Superman and Zod fighting in space. Mm-hmm. Like, it has to be CGI. I don't know what they expect. I understand if it's bad CGI and bad choreography. Because at the end of the day, even if it's a CGI fight, you still need good CGI and good fight choreography while doing an animation. And I'm saying off here, like, I just think it's just such a dumb excuse, or like just a dumb statement to do towards superhero movies when you're just like, they're superheroes, you know, like they're superheroes. You know, it's just like, complain like, oh, Aquaman is just another fight fest. I'm like, dude, they're not gonna realistically fight underwater fluidly. Like you have, it's a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have CGI fight scenes, but if it's good CGI and good choreographed, I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie did give us that. The ending, you know, yes, it's a CGI fight like any other sci-fi big blockbuster is gonna have a CGI fight. It was done well. I just had to say that.
No, I agree.
But yeah, action was good. The music was fantastic. I love the music. Jaime Reyes, like he's really good. Like it's I love Jaime. So moving on to the next thing we love most, the music. We get action. What's another thing you love most?
Oh, I don't know. You said you like delivered that really weirdly.
Okay, my bad.
I really loved like the family dynamic. I feel like it easily could be like said that it was like really common or like basic, but I feel like a lot of movies like they always do the family thing like really fast and like it's always the same. And you don't get much of it, but I feel like in Blue Beetle we got enough of it.
And a dynamic too.
And like they're part of it. They're part of his transformation and they're like really supportive. So I don't know. I think that like you can't say that every movie like the parents there was always like something with the parents, but like
oh, they never knew too. They never knew that their son or
yeah,
was a superhero too.
But in this one like the parents are a part of Blue Beetle. And I think in Young Justice, is he?
They're
not?
part of it too. They're
yeah.
part of it too.
Yeah, no, I think in Blue Beetle's story, like I feel like his family is very involved.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else I really loved. I like the connection between the daughter Cord and him.
Yes, that is one thing.
It was like so not
yes.
cringy, and like I really enjoyed it. And like for me, like every time I watch movies or like anything. I always get like, love, like I don't like your relationship. It's always so cringy to me.
Like Flash and Iris? Oh, that one was bad.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it, and I feel like they had really great chemistry together. And I don't know, I feel like it had a lot to do with the fact that they were both like, the whole movie was very like the Latino community. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know, to me it just didn't feel like as cringy or forced. It felt very like perfect.
Yeah, and the thing I really appreciate with Ted Kord's daughter is that with Ted Kord's daughter and Jaime, is that this movie was just like the beginning of the relationship. Because I feel like the problem with like a lot of movies when they shoehorn a love interest is like they try to shoehorn in the beginning of the relationship to like the happily ever after or the ending of the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, because like the whole movie they're just getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not like
the perfect way to get to know each other.
Yeah, and it's not like shoehorning in like
Almost
they're a couple. Like no, they're not a couple throughout the whole movie at all. And I really appreciate that because like that's another thing a lot of people complain about the movie. Not a lot of people. What I'm saying is that they didn't like Ted Kord's daughter and that they felt that she was shoehorned in and that the relationship between Jaime and Ted Kord's daughter was like shoehorned.
She's
in.
literally the reason he's Blue Beetle.
And she was in the movie a whole thing, and her role wasn't just.
She's just a character.
Yeah, like she was, I really did appreciate that a lot. Is the fact that she was her own individual character and going through her own stuff, her own personal stuff. You know.
Is in the comics are they together?
No, I don't think.
This is just a movie.
I think she's an original character, but I wouldn't put it past her getting put into Blue Beetle's new run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't put it past it. Because they do that a lot. But yeah, it wasn't shoehorned in, you know, because like, for example, in other movies, the love interest is solely just the love interest.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Kord's daughter was her own character going through her own personal struggles, you know, and like I really, really like that. Like, oh, never mind, I was about to talk about the scene, not spoilers yet. But yeah, no, and like I said, it the whole them being in a relationship wasn't even like their main thing. They were just getting to know each other and getting to appreciate each other until the ending, you know. So like they weren't just like, oh, they both like each other right away. And I really like that. It just felt authentic.
Yeah.
It felt authentic, and it's really, really nice. And is that it for you for the stuff you love most?
Yeah, I really like the city. It was
Yes.
pretty cool.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like the whole movie was just like perfect to me. Like for my like when I watch a superhero movie like Marvel DC, that's what I'm looking for. Like same with like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like to me, watching Blue Beetle felt like a relief of watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I get what you mean, because like when we're walking out the movie theater, I told you how like I see why this is the movie that James Gunn wants it to be in his DC universe, because
It's
it
his
fits,
vibe.
yeah,
It's
it
what he
fits
wants.
James Gunn's vision, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. That like it felt good. Like it didn't feel like forced. It didn't feel cringy. It felt like really good.
And you're supposed to feel that way in superhero movies. I feel like you're supposed to feel that way every time you walk out of the movie theater watching superhero. You're just supposed to feel good.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they haven't been able to do with Superman. But yeah, I'm glad they did this. And for me, you know, I agree with that. I love the music. Jaime, the family, Ted Kord's daughter. I don't even know her name. Can you search up her name actually? Ted Kord's daughter from the movie. But and like the big thing I heavily appreciated the most is just the what's up?
Jenny?
I think it's Jenny. I think it is. In the movie? No. Jenny Cord. Jenny, yes, you're right. It said Jenny, yeah. And like I said, the biggest thing I heavily look forward to this movie was the representation. You know, they got the music. I smiled every single time they played a song. I smiled so big, like, dude,
It felt really nice to hear it in a movie theater.
Yes, I was like, dude, I grew up with this music, dude. I grew up not liking this music because my mom and dad always played it, and then now I heavily appreciate it and like it because it puts me back to when I was a kid, you know. And I love the music, you know. The grandma, the abuela, like it's just like the typical Mexican grandma. They do it like there's just the representations and all the inside jokes for, you know, the Mexican you know, community. Like I wanted that the most, and he gave me it perfectly. Like I honestly wouldn't say they missed anything, especially the Chapulín stuff. I find it so amazing that they added that. I find it so amazing that they added Chapulín, which is like the Mexican superhero for like Mexicans that we grew up watching the TV show, and especially the actor who plays Chapulín. He's, you know, Chespirito. He's a legend. So it's just like it's so cool. I'm glad that the director was Mexican, so like he knew what to put. Like the part when the grandma was watching. So just everything. It's so good. You know, the neighborhood. It just felt like my grandma's neighborhood in Long Beach. Like it's so good. I loved it. And I can't be more happy with the representation they added to that. And I really hope the movie makes the money it can. And I really hope my community supports it, you know, because it can be a quiet community sometimes. So, yeah, I hope we give them money to show that, yeah, we like this and we want more of Beetle. Not only that, we want more, you know, Hispanic, Latino superheroes, which is just more representation for us, because for the longest time, like, it's just a good feeling. I saw someone that said how it's a good feeling that we finally got to see Mexicans on the big screen not being thugs and gangs or like cartel members.
Or white knee socks and flannels and shorts.
Exactly, you know, so like it's very good. And just the whole thing with Jaime, you know, how he's the first person who went to college and graduated in his family, and how he comes back, and it's just, you know, the whole thing, like, yeah, you go to college and you win a degree, but what are you gonna do with that degree? So like he's kind of struggling on what he's gonna do with that degree to help his family. So yeah, no, it's really, really good. But let's go on to the next thing, which is stuff that we disliked. I don't think you have anything.
I have one.
You want to start this off?
Do you have a lot?
I only have two, and I think we kind of have the same.
I'll go first because it's just one.
Okay, go ahead.
I really, really, really like George Lopez's character, but I just don't like George Lopez.
Yeah.
It really like it made me generally like so sad because I was like, you're perfect for this movie, but like after what he had done, like it just ruined it for me.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I don't want to really get really deep into it, but it's come out and said that which doesn't make sense because there's just a lot of brown Mexicans in this movie.
Well, did you actually find like proof?
Yeah, that so according to what's been said is that George Lopez, whenever he's a part of a project, he always makes sure that he's the only brown Hispanic in the project on screen, and that if they're gonna get another like Hispanic Latino into the project, to make sure they're light skinned, and that he wants to be the only one that's brown skinned. It's just weird. It makes no sense.
It's a weird thing.
It's
so
a
it just
weird
made me
thing.
feel like ick, like you're weird. Like why is that something?
Yeah.
Why is that so important to you? You know.
But I really do wonder what happened because Zolo, which is the actor of Jaime, is brown skin. He's brown. And also the dad, also the grandma, and also the mom, and also the sister. Like the whole Reyes family were brown.
I wasn't even looking at that either. I was just thinking of George Lopez the whole time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, George Lopez, he's but it was cool. His character was cool. I really
loved his character.
I loved his character. It just shows because it's like every Mexican family has that uncle. They have that uncle, just like that cool uncle that hangs out with his nephews and nieces like he's their age. I have that uncle, and like I'm pretty sure a lot of Mexicans, Americans, Hispanic, Latinos can also say that they also have that one uncle or aunt. It can also be an aunt. Like they have that uncle or aunt that's just like that cool one.
Yeah.
That just like knows how to hang out with the nieces and nephews. So I really loved it, and he literally he kind of plays just George Lopez from the George Lopez TV show.
Yeah.
Mixed in with like how he's like a huge conspiracy theorist.
Like there were some times when like he would like be like like he was screaming. I was just like, oh my god, George. Like
yes, dude. And another thing, they cussed in Spanish. They cussed a lot in Spanish, and it's funny how they're gonna get away with this because how it's here in the United States, but they cussed a lot. Like there's a part that George Lopez says something, and the subtitles says something that is not exactly what he said. Not exactly what he said. I was just like, I saw what you guys did there, but I still liked it because I was just like, hell yeah, bro! It's just family households.
Yeah.
Mexican households, like they let all the words fly everywhere. So that's the one thing you probably dislike. Yeah, I know. I mean, I always thought about that too. But like the main reason why I always thought about that was just like, like Blue Beetle, he's brown. Like this whole family's brown, so I really wonder what happened. Probably because DC's bigger, Warner Bros is bigger, and he's not bigger than them. But one thing I disliked. There's two things I disliked. Was the main villain, the old lady. Yeah, the old lady. No, not the henchman guy. Cause I like that guy. I actually really liked him, especially the way they ended his story arc. Made complete sense on how they're treating his character from beginning to the end. I'm just like, I see what you guys did there, and like you guys closed it out really well, and like it makes sense. What you were doing throughout the whole movie, and like you were doing it purposely. It wasn't that. He's supposed to seem the way he is throughout the whole thing because there's a reason behind that. But when it comes to the old lady, I think it was Ted Kord's sister, Jenny's aunt, right?
Yes.
Jenny's aunt, yeah. She was bland. She was kind of it was whatever. Like she really wasn't all that, and I think that was the reason like they didn't really care about it. Like they just had her just to be an antagonist, but I don't know. She definitely was flat, but the other guy was cool. I liked the other guy a lot. But yeah, Jenny's aunt, which was the main villain,
I think she was just like a rich person who doesn't care about people and just cares about herself. And she had a lot of money, and she just basically enslaved people to work for her.
Hispanic people.
And so, like, I don't really think she was like supposed to be like the villain, or like, so okay, actually rewording that. She was the villain, but I think the real villain was the technology. And
Yeah,
so like
the real villain
she was just like the person to like control.
Yeah, I feel like the real villain was gentrification.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That
like,
was the real villain.
That's what I'm saying. Like everything that she had created, you know, like the whole city, that was the villain.
Cause that's what's going on. I mean, like, you know how that one part that we went in the city where it was like it was a Hispanic neighborhood, and like they had like a like the street closed because like they were advertising like gentrification. Like they're just like, oh, this is what we're gonna put in your guys' neighborhood, like blah blah blah. And then we walked out, it was like these motherfuckers are gonna gentrify this Mexican.
It was really weird.
This Hispanic neighborhood, like what the fuck?
Yeah, it was weird.
And I would say that is the main villain. So yeah, I would feel that way. And then another thing, it's just like a nitpick, you know. It's not like a massive thing I heavily dislike. Like I want to say like most of this stuff, even like Ted Kord's sister, like I didn't massively like disliked it, you know. It's just little nitpicks. And another thing for me would just be there were some moments in the movie where I just felt like they kind of like they should have stayed in it a little longer.
Yeah, you know? I agree with that.
Because there were some moments where I'm just like I'm feeling something, and then like it kind of just cuts it off, and then we move on to the next scene. I'm just like
fast paced.
Yeah. Some scenes were really fast paced, and like I kind of wish like damn I wanted to stay in that scene a little bit more and have my emotions get a little tugged. So, yeah.
I think with that, what you just said, the scenes when like.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we can wait.
We can wait. Keep that in mind. But we're gonna end off our spoiler-free discussion right now. We're gonna give our ratings. We're gonna do a out of 5 stars, and for Blue Beetle, we're gonna do out of 5 scarabs. What is your rating?
5 scarabs out of 5 scarabs.
You do 5 scarabs out of 5 scarabs?
Yeah.
I'll do 4 scarabs out of 5 scarabs.
Okay. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, this movie is to be enjoyed. And
that's like really rare for me to like make it a full star out of star.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I felt like this one was like really good to me. Like,
and it's special. Mm-hmm. Like it feels special. Mm-hmm. It really does feel special, and I highly recommend to go watch it if you guys can, because it really needs it. And I hope the main actor Zolo, he continues to be Blue Beetle because he deserves it. And it'll suck for him not to get another chance to play Blue Beetle because this movie bombs and like.
He's literally Jaime.
He's literally Jaime. So yeah, I highly recommend the movie. It's a great film. Go watch it. Thank you guys for watching. And we're gonna head to our spoiler section, which won't be that long. It won't be long because we kind of talked a lot about it. So, thank you guys for watching. And if you already watched the movie, stay tuned for the spoiler section. Peace out, guys. Welcome to our spoiler section of the movie. We're gonna say everything about it. No censorship, no nothing. We're gonna spoil the whole movie, not the whole movie, just parts that stood out to us the most, like our favorite scenes, our favorite plot points, our characters, and end credit scenes. So, do you want to kick it off?
I'm just gonna go down the list.
You're gonna go down the list. All right, go ahead, go down the list.
The dad's death.
Dude, I was about to cry both times. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, both times when he died, like. When I noticed he was dying, I was like, damn, it's so sad when he died. But once, like, Jaime and his sister started, like, saying Abba, like, oh, dude, that hit home.
Mm-hmm. And then when Jaime was in, like, he was gonna go to the light and his dad was, like, helping him, I was like, oh. I got pretty teary-eyed. I was like, damn, this is good. Like, especially the grandma's reaction. Like, it didn't feel really forced at all. Like, it just felt very, like, natural, and it was a good one. It was really good. It's a good
Very
death. Sad.
Like I was legit about to cry, but I was just like, no.
I mean, like Uncle Ben dies like 10 minutes into Spider-Man.
Yeah, and like this one, it was like a whole hour.
Yeah, it was like a whole hour of like introducing him and like understanding his character and the family dynamic. So it was good.
And none of the talking about with like superhero trope. I love that Jaime is a good person and knows how to be a superhero because of the way he was raised, not because something happened.
He was raised very well.
You know what I mean? Because like with Peter, like Peter Parker, he's a good person, but it was Uncle Ben's death that taught him responsibility and to taught him how to be a good superhero. But Hyman, like he was raised to be ready to be a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like his
dad was a superhero.
Yeah, and it's crazy because his dad didn't need to die to improve Jaime's ability to be a superhero. His dad just died because
his family
evil.
made him strong.
His family.
His family was doing it for him.
He wasn't lying in the trailer when he says my family was what makes me strong, because it literally is. Like that's the main reason why Jaime is a superhero, because of his family. He was raised that, and I really love that. And you know, I legit was about to cry both times. It's really sad, especially when George Lopez pulls up. I was like, oh dude.
Yeah.
When he dies and just the grandma, and how I love, like, just like so many things just hit home. Like I just love the way they also like treated the death, and how like the grandma was just like, yo, we gotta suck it up right now.
Yeah.
We gotta suck it up right now. And I was like, oh, motherfuckers. You motherfuckers, dude.
It's crazy.
It's like, we gotta suck it up right now, because right now is not the time to die. Right now is not the time to cry. And then once they're finally reunited, and it just right off the bat, it's like, okay, now's the time to cry.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sweet moment.
Very sweet moment. And then the Nana like turned around and brought in Jenny to the circle.
Yeah, because she had a lot of crying about it too.
Yeah, she was just letting it out.
I
liked that a lot.
Yeah, and I just like how she's a part of the family now, and I like how, like I said, especially in the ending, like how we talked about in the spoiler free, how it ends with Jaime and Jenny were just like, okay, let's let's have a relationship, because they kiss, and I was like, all right, cool, I like that a lot, because a lot of movies they kiss like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, be safe, you know. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean, or like it's a big thing, and they kiss each other, but then it's like, what the like that wasn't even like led to, you know what I mean?
No, their chemistry was really high, like you could tell.
When they were about to kiss the first time, that shit was hella funny.
Oh yeah,
And when
nothing happened.
It was like, oh, nothing happened, her mom died.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was funny. This movie is funny. Like, it's actually really
There's a lot
funny.
of good funny parts. Like, it was just surprising, because to me, like, it would have been like cringy, but it wasn't.
Yes, like that was. I was so scared of this movie to be so cringy. Did you know? I don't think you know about this. Blue Beetle, this movie was supposed to be an HBO Max. Well, not Max, but it was gonna be an HBO Max just exclusive movie. Like this movie was just gonna go straight to streaming. And James Gunn and
Oh yeah.
and all those, they watched the movie and they're like, this movie's good. Like, what are we doing? And that's why it's in the movie theaters, because they're just like, no, this movie's good enough in theaters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was gonna be just an HBO thing, which is crazy. And that's why I think they didn't even spend $200 million in the movie. They only spent like $150 million, so just $50 million less, which is crazy. Yeah, and it looks good. It looks better than most of Phase 4 Marvel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good. And talking about when we're talking about the villain, wait, what were the two scenes that you were thinking about when we brought up scenes that we wish they stayed longer in?
When Jenny brings them down to the Blue Beetle lair for the first time to reveal that her father was Blue Beetle, I wish it was a little bit longer and she explained more, or they showed who her dad was, so we got like I don't know, I thought that would have been pretty cool.
I agree with that.
I was hoping for it, because like he got on the computer and then she kind of started talking, and then like they just went straight to like upstairs, and she started talking to her about her parents like not being in her life, but she didn't talk about the fact that her dad was like this really smart guy who made all these crazy gadgets and was literally a Blue Beetle. And then it's possible they might be talking about it in like maybe a second movie or something else, but she stood there staring at one of the like statues for a while.
The third one, the empty one,
with the pillow on it. There was a pillow like strapped to it. And I was like, I wonder if maybe first it could be that, it's probably most likely that it was the costume that the dad took with him before he left and disappeared. And
in time with Booster Gold.
And then maybe like she added a pillow. Like I don't know. It's just like.
But why would that have a pillow?
But I was just like, if there's a pillow there, I was like, I've never seen that, and if it was an empty mannequin, it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a lot of things about that scene that could have been a little bit longer to like kind of get more information because we don't know when we're gonna get the second movie.
And we don't know if we are going to.
And if we are, yeah.
Oh, what time?
Oh, 3:10.
3:10, okay. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, I did feel that way during that scene too. Like I kind of wanted to explore that lab a little bit more. You know, I saw some people saying that third empty one was probably like the costume he was gonna make for her.
Oh, I also thought that too.
Because he was making stuff for her, like the gum. Like he was making stuff for her.
Yeah, like maybe he was in the process of it but never got to finish.
Dude, I hope that dude. I hope Ted Cord is like stuck in time with Bruce DeGold.
Yeah, because like we ended up getting a flashback scene for the villain, the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But we never got like any flashback stuff with like her parents, and I thought that would have been pretty cool, like to see like who he used to be.
Yeah, it's most likely because they haven't cast.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They didn't cast Ted Cord, and that is like a thing that you have to cast really well because it's Ted Cord.
The other scenes, I guess, like. I guess it's understandable because I was gonna say I wish I got like one more day with the family or one more day with Jaime before he became Blue Beetle, but like it's a movie, but everything kind of happened overnight for him.
Yeah, as soon as he came home from the you know what scene I love when his dad was drinking outside from you.
Oh yeah, that was
that
nice.
Scene a lot.
Yeah, that
when the music was playing, I think it was Vicente Fernandez that was playing. No, it wasn't. Vicente Fernandez played when he was turning to Blue Beetle. Mm-hmm. I love that part.
I think his dad outside, that scene could have been different because I don't think it's realistic that the dad would just get up and leave. Like, oh, I'm going to bed. Like, he would have stayed outside.
Yeah, I think it was just like they were just wrapping up.
Yeah,
I do feel that.
It would have been cool if like the camera shot was like moving out and they were just kind of sitting there chilling.
Yeah, and how he just left like the alcohol there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I was honestly expecting to be like, oh, can you put the alcohol away from me? And like walk off. That would have been funny. But yeah, but I still love that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I still love that scene. But it did end really awkwardly, I would say.
He was just like, okay, I love you. You're strong.
How'd you feel about the sister? Because the sister was the one that was most worried about going into this movie.
I was really worried because in the trailer there's that one scene when they're on the roof and she was like, "You caught it, bro."
Dude.
And I was like, "Oh, what is that line delivery?" But then like
She didn't say that.
In the movie, she was really good. I really enjoyed her character.
There's people that hate her character.
That's really weird. Like
there's nothing wrong with her character.
No, I feel like she was like the perfect sister. Like I don't know, like she was so realistic for a sister because like that's kind of how like I am as a sister.
And she was funny too.
Yeah, no, she was good. I really liked her. I just like the family. There's obviously everyone's gonna have like there's a handful of people that likes Black Adam. A handful of people like Black Adam just as much as we like Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
so it's like.
Yeah, and that's like this. Damn, I wish I said this in the spoiler-free section, but I need to figure out how to way to put this. But I feel like a major thing that people are like kind of steering away with superhero movies when it comes to like Blue Beetle and like Guardians 3 and etc. was because the superhero genre was never meant to be mainstream. You know?
It was just like comics.
It was just like it's just like the superhero genre isn't for everybody. Just like everything isn't for everybody.
Just like horror isn't for everybody. Just
like horror movies isn't for everybody. Just like hip hop isn't for everybody. Just like
rap.
Yeah, just like heavy rock isn't for everybody. You know, like, and I feel like the biggest issue with the superhero genre right now is that because of Infinity War and Endgame, literally every single living person like hopped on the superhero genre. And like once Infinity War and Endgame ended, that's when like people that the superhero genre isn't intended for are now hating on superhero movies and being like, oh, this is not good. But in reality, like, so the superhero genre was never for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's nothing is never for everybody. Nothing's never for everybody, and I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why there was some people that, you know, didn't like Artistry, or some people that didn't like this movie, you know, because it's just like, I mean, it's good for us.
It's just like
It's good for us superhero fans. We loved it. We liked it, and I don't know. And like, it's just I just feel like superhero movies, the superhero genre trying so hard to be mainstream is what is killing it, because they need to go back and realize, like, we were making superhero movies for the people that are going to enjoy superhero movies. Like, it's never intended. Nothing's never intended for everyone.
Yeah. Just like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like, as much as I hate on that one, it's meant for children.
But
no, it is kind of like that. Like,
Timothy is so weird.
No, I know that, but
those
like
trailers.
I always cringe watching that trailer. This is so off topic. But I'm just putting it out there, like, yeah, like, you're right about the whole, like, it's just that realization that everything's not for everyone.
Yeah.
That everyone has their own thing. And because superhero movies became mainstream, it then became like, oh, you're weird if you don't watch superhero movies. Like, those are the mainstream. Like, oh, you don't watch Marvel? You should watch it. Like,
you're boring, dude.
Like, I have this friend that has never seen a Marvel movie before, but me and my other friend, when we heard that, we were like, you don't watch Marvel, you know? But then, like, now that I'm thinking of it, like, it's not for everyone, and not everyone else watches other things too. You know, like, there's a lot of people that just sit and watch Hallmark movies. You know, you never know. Like, that's
or
the
people
thing.
that watch those cringy TV shows.
Mm-hmm. So, like, in that case, just listen to the people that, you know, like your stuff. You know, like, watch the people that like your stuff. Don't watch the people that. No, like, don't go on Letterboxd, because
Letterboxd is not for superhero movies.
No, it's not.
Letterboxd is not for superhero movies. Because Letterboxd is for people that like the film. This was a good picture. And that's not superhero movies. Some of them are, like Logan, the Joker, the Dark Knight. I guess if you want to argue, maybe the Batman. Like, yeah, but like I said, the superhero genre, it's just it's not. It's like, for everybody.
Let me go rate Trolls on Letterboxd.
Exactly. Like, what are you doing?
Let me go rate Bugs Life on Letterboxd.
Exactly. It's not it. And I feel like that's like a big problem with the superhero genre right now. It's like they're trying really hard to continue to be mainstream and to continue to appeal to the general audience and everybody, when it's just like it's not for everyone. You know, superheroes are really weird. Just like anime is really weird.
Anime is also not for everyone. Okay, but we are talking about spoilers.
Okay, sorry. I just really want to get that out of my chest, because I really thought about that.
We're at
the finale with the villains.
End credits also.
With the villains. I thought it was cool about how they ended off with the villains. I thought it was really cool.
Are you talking about how, like, he killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really liked that. And
but I was like, but I also feel, I guess it.
Jaime could have saved him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Jaime didn't know.
Yeah, but also, like, so the guy, what was his name?
I don't know his name, but the henchman guy.
The henchman guy.
The second main villain.
He said that one thing that she would say was, like, making a sacrifice for the greater good. So he was making the sacrifice for the greater good, so that she didn't continue creating, you know, because if Jaime did save her, then it would have made, like, her, she would have been, like, you know, Wilson Fisk, you know, in jail. She has the money, she has the connections, like, she could still create, you know, what's going on. But I do believe this is gonna bite Jaime in the ass later. Like, if they do make a sequel, or if there ends up being, like, you know, something else, like, there's definitely gonna be, like, somebody else who takes over her work, or who has been inspired.
No,
like,
Jenny's taking over.
Yeah, but, like, other than that, like, somebody else who comes along.
Yeah.
So, like, I also have never been, like, I would say, like, the only person in all of comic book history that I wanted dead was Thanos. Like, other than that, like, I don't think that, like, killing off villains was, like, always the best. Like, with Joker, though, like, yeah, I mean, no, I don't think so, actually. I wouldn't want him dead either.
I always say like, you can kill off the Joker in the ending, or if you just have no plans for the Joker. Back to what I wanted to say back in the spoiler-free section, was the guy, I don't know his name, but I really like what they did with his character, because like, you know, throughout the whole movie I knew that some people didn't like the villains. And throughout the whole thing I was like, yeah, he is just kind of like a nobody, like he's just like a generic villain, he's just like, he's bad for no reason or blah blah blah, until like, you know, they showed his story, and like I really liked what they did, because the whole thing was just like, Hyman wanted to kill this dude, and that was crazy, dude. How Hyman wanted to kill him so bad. I love that.
Like the fresh superhero type thing.
Yes, and I love how they give a reason why not to kill him, because like the whole scarab, and you know, Hyman learns is like, don't kill him because you don't know what his side of the story. Like you never know the other person's side of the story. You never know the stuff they go through. You never know why the person is the way they are. Sure, it's never an excuse, but like there's always a reason why they're at where they are in life right now, and like that's why Hyman doesn't kill him, and like that's how they become like cool in the end. And I love that so much, because like, and like going back, how it's just like, oh, it's a superhero movie that follows tropes. That wasn't a trope at all. Like a superhero movie trope is like, oh, hero punches bad guy in the end and saves the day. He didn't punch him in the end. They had a fight, but they found a common ground.
Yeah.
And like they shook hands at the end, and they appreciate each other, and like he even tells them, protect your family. And I even got chills just thinking about that. Like I really love that, because that is something different that they did.
Yeah.
That's something different that it does. So like, yes, this movie does follow certain types of superhero origin story tropes, but it still does different stuff.
Yeah.
It does different stuff, and that I loved so much. I really loved that. I mean, what did you think about that?
I loved it. I think I have any problems. I mean, you could keep saying that it's like, oh, it's the common superhero tropes, but like, it's the first Blue Beetle movie. Like, also go look at Captain America. Go look at Iron Man.
It's not even go look at that. Go look at their all each individual superhero's origin comic book.
That's Shazam.
Huh?
Shazam.
Shazam.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like in every first superhero movie, there's always the, I just became a superhero. I'm learning how to do it. Then I find someone who doesn't like me because I became a superhero in the wrong time, because in that time I became a superhero. There was really terrible villains creating something really terrible, and it's just like,
and someone important to me gets killed or gets lost. And so yeah. It's just a good argument. Yeah. I really do believe it's a good argument, but yeah, there's 2 end credit scenes.
Yep.
2 end credit scenes. The first one, Ted Kord, he's still alive. Obviously, he was still alive. And I told you already, but I want to say here is, I hope they do this. If they don't do this, it's a huge miss. But I would bet so much that Ted Kord is just stuck in time with fucking Booster Gold.
Yeah.
I want that to be the reason so bad, dude. Because for those of you who don't know, Ted Kord, Booster Gold, it's like a bromance. Like it's like to the point like it's a bromance. And like even like Mr. Miracle, like they're all 3 of his friends, and it's just like Blue Beetle becoming a success. It's like another door being opened for like Booster Gold and even Mr. Miracle. Like we need that, and yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna be the case. If they don't, then like I don't know why they wouldn't do that. It's just like,
what would it be?
He's Ted Kord went on an adventure with his best bro Booster Gold, and they lost their way to get back. I want that to happen so bad. And the whole time when like Jenny was just like, oh, you know, Manel was never home. Every time I think it's like, bro, if this guy was never home because he was hanging out with Booster Gold doing shit, that'd be so messed up.
I don't think it would be like that.
I wouldn't think so. But like still just like, dude, oh my god. But Yeah, I in general, I mean, people already talked about this. I hope they do a Blue Beetle, a Ted Core Blue Beetle and a Booster Gold like team up movie, or just like a team up HBO Max series. Like I really want that to happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the case. And then the second end credit scene is just another Chapulín Colorado like cartoon thing that they did, what George Lopez's character used, and like I said, like the fact that they added that again into Secret Ending just like made it more special. And I already explained in the spoiler-free section of why it's special, and I think it's being overlooked. From what I'm seeing online, it's being overlooked, and like it's like damn, like that's just really special, and like it's a deeper meaning because like Chapulín was the early like a Mexican superhero, but like it was a comedic one, and then like now the first ever like legit blockbuster Mexican superhero they did a tribute to Chapulín and Chespirito, and I was like, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. I love that. So yeah, any more you have to say? Spoilers?
No, I have nothing else.
Yeah.
I really just enjoyed everything and kind of said everything I had to say.
I think I have them too. So that is our official first ever movie review. All right, we're gonna do more often. Just a disclaimer, a heads up. We're not only just doing superhero movies. We're doing movies because like we really want this channel to be just like pop culture, just any film, any TV show, any video games. I'm gonna work on a video game review soon because I beat Final Fantasy 16 and I have a lot about to say that. So yeah, we're gonna be doing reviews, and a lot of video games coming out soon. So yeah, we're not just gonna stick with comic book movies. We're gonna talk about all kinds of movies that come out, and we're gonna review them. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please like and subscribe, and tune in next time for the next podcast episode and the next review. Thank you guys. Peace out.
Goodbye.